I definitely want to see more plus size actors leading these shows and being the lead of their stories and being able to be lovable and cool and desirable without having to be the butt of jokes. I think we've seen that played out in almost every show ever made. And I think it's about time that, you know, we start seeing that people are into different things and being plus size is beautiful and should be celebrated and shouldn't have to be something that you make fun of or hide from.
Something I would love to see more in TV about teens is healthier parent-child relationships. I actually have a really great relationship with my parents. My mom and dad are my biggest supporters. I talk to them every day. And while I did have my moments of my own teen angst, especially growing up, and honestly a little bit now, I do still believe that media shapes our culture, and that is why representation matters so much. So maybe if we have healthier relationships of parent and children on TV being represented, it will help people in real life.
Personally, I'd really like to see more queer representation on teen TV, and especially queer stories being told at the forefront of the story instead of just being used as kind of a way to further advance straight characters' storylines.
I want there to be more of a diverse representation of the LGBTQ community, because I feel like there are a few archetypes that are constantly told over and over and over of types of people, and we're a bunch of different types of people. We are athletes, we're the nerds, we're the popular kids, we're the not popular kids, we're, you know, there are so many. We can be the bank robber, we can be like, and I don't feel like we're represented on the full breadth of who we are as a community. And I think that's exactly what I would want to see more about in TV.
Something that I would really love to see represented more in teen TV is teen voices. You know, I know that there's obviously, you know, the importance of experience and leadership, but I just feel like, you know, there are so many young people who have so much to say and have a voice that they want to say it with. I would love if there were just more opportunities, you know, for young creators, writers, directors, you know, whether that's partnerships with people who have, you know, long-standing careers.
Talking to teens is very important to get their experiences, because, you know, everything is changing so fast, and if you don't get the experiences of those that are living it in the daily life, then you would never get an accurate representation of something that you're trying to portray. So I would love, you know, if more people and creators would collaborate with teens to really know what's going on in the world that the teens are living in right now.
More stories about what it's like to be a first-generation American and being a teenager while growing up through that, especially from the voices of people in the Asian American Pacific Islander community.
Something that I would love to see more of in teen TV shows is more Latin and queer representation in the spotlight, not just in supporting roles, but I think there are a lot of unique stories and storytellers that have yet to be given the chance to kind of share their experience on this world, and I think that would be super fun. And something I kind of always think of is like a holiday movie surrounding a Mexican-American family, because I know, like, my upbringing, especially around the holidays, it was like a movie. You know, you have all of these like cast of characters and it's really something that I haven't seen before. So I think it's shining the spotlight on, you know, whether it be Latin or queer stories. I think there's some interesting stories out there, so hopefully we get to see some of those in the future. If there's any writers out there, there's your first idea.
Just a more accurate representation of what it's like to grow up as a teen. I feel like sometimes a lot of teen shows will fall into tropes. I feel like in order for the communities being shown on TV to be more accurately represented is to have those groups of people be the ones that are also in the writer's room, or who are also producers and directors and DPs and costumers, and to just diversify the process of making a TV show.
I want to see more on my television young people of color portraying stories that are totally against stereotype and typecasting. I want to see people of color play stories that are completely unconventional.
I'd like to see some TV shows dive into the different Asian cultures. I feel like in a lot of TV and film, we get labeled as just Asian, but there's so many different cultures, Korean to Chinese, Japanese, and I guess it'd just be nice to see how those cultures are very similar yet very different.
I have a disability, and it's very rare to see real disabilities represented accurately on television or even seen at all. I know we've started really showing some new autistic characters, but I think diversifying what disability means in someone's life and to show different ways to express that and different ways to accept that, and that we do want things that other people want, and we do live in this world. So to be able to see myself on screen, to be able to see someone with the same struggles and the same life as me is just something that would be beautiful.
I think we're kind of already going in this direction, but I think teenagers now are so different than they were even 10 years ago. And I find that this generation of teens is so interested in activism and politics and saving the world and saving our planet. And so I feel like seeing TV shows go in that direction, but in a way that doesn't feel stereotypy, or it doesn't feel like they're the butt of the joke, or like they're misunderstood, but really that they're this powerhouse generation that is changing the world. I think that would be pretty epic to see on TV.